Hi everyone, and welcome to How Did You Show. Today I have a very, very exciting guest with me on the show, Paul Smith. Hi, Paul.
Hiya, you all right?
Hi, how are you?
Very well, yourself?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
I'm really pleased that you said yes and you joined us on the show. So thank you very much for coming.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit more about who is Paul Smith for those who don't know, the listeners?
Yeah. So, kind of just gone through life like a brown paper bag in the wind up until now. Haven't really had any structure, haven't really committed to anything. But I've got a son now who's 2 years old, the Ginger Prince.
Oh, Ginger Prince.
So since he came along, seriously started to consider what I need to be doing, etc. And then January last year, started Blue Oak Property Group. And since then, I guess I'm kind of known as that, really. You know what I mean?
This is a
Blue Oak,
Blue Oak creator.
Blue Oak creator.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to go for property? Like, what is your background? How did you got into property? What was your
Yeah. So like I've
reasons?
done all sorts of things in the past. Like literally, so I went to sixth form. I hated that. So I left after 3 months to join the army. While I was waiting to go into the army, I had a head injury. So like fractured my skull and stuff. So failed the medical for that. Worked on a building site. Then I worked in a hotel. Worked as a sports coach. Kind of just did everything. And then I was going to go back in the Royal Marines once I was allowed, because I had to wait quite a while for my head injury, but to not have another seizure. So I was going to go back in there, and then I thought property would be a really good thing to get into, because something I could do hand in hand with being in the Marines. Build a property portfolio up in the background as an investment kind of thing. But then Blue Oak took off when I met Rich, then Andy, and it really took off. So I've swapped and I've gone full-time property, and I'm going to hopefully be Royal Marine Reserve. Obviously, with everything that's going on at the moment, that's been postponed, but I'm just waiting for my 3-day fitness test, and then hopefully pursue the Royal Marine Reserves avenue, and then full steam ahead with Blue Oak.
Wow, seems like you're very, very busy.
Yeah, very busy, but that's good, isn't it? Good being
Absolutely,
busy. Keeps you out of
absolutely.
trouble. Yeah,
Pardon?
keeps you out of trouble when you're busy.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
No, well done. You're doing absolutely fantastic things. Like, we've been friends now for over a year, roughly.
yeah. That's it. We met early on, didn't we?
We met
Early
earlier
on last year, and
last
then
year.
we're
Yeah.
both just stuck at it, and now we're both doing really well. So it's good.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah, we
not
stayed.
rocket science, is it? You just got to be consistent and turn up every day, which I think both of us
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah, so we stayed friends, and I watched your journey. Obviously, I'm watching your journey, and you are incredibly fascinating and interesting person. So I thought that you will be absolutely brilliant for the beginners, the ones that are out there, to share your journey and what really to expect from properties, and what really needs to be done in order to succeed in properties. So are you happy to share with us your journey?
Absolutely. So first thing,
Amazing.
like I would say, this is the first thing I've committed to. And like the more you read, the more you understand that it takes time for something substantial to be built.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, the property is the first thing I've stuck in at for an extended period of time. So that was the first thing I've done different with property than anything else. And the second thing, I've surrounded myself with much better people, because even when I started with the property, people like my dad, you know how strong that relationship is, were saying not to do it, which was really hard, because I've kind of had this on this shoulder saying, yes, do it, it's a really good idea. And then people that I care about so much saying not to do because it was so risky and what have you. So I've surrounded myself with people like Rich and Andy and yourself, who are really positive and have been there and done it. And yeah, I would say it's essential to get a good network around you.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to think it's a good community in Blue Oak, isn't it?
Oh, Blue Oak is fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan. It's
Part
all
of the
about
furniture.
it's all about help. Pardon?
You're part of the furniture, aren't you?
I am a part of furniture now.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Blue Oak. It's all about helping people. For those out there, Blue Oak, it's all about helping, motivating, inspiring each other. Yeah, you guys growing incredibly fast. It's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
It's like what your Facebook page now has over 3,000 members, and that happened within a few months, didn't it?
Yeah. So I think it was like it got 1,000 in the first week, which was probably down to Rich and his ridiculous size network. But then that's just been organic, just steady growth, and seems to be a really nice community in there.
Beautiful. Yeah, everybody's very supporting each other. You also do Blue Oak Fitness. There's another page. It's all about mindset. It's all about mental health, like the physical fitness, mental fitness. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're inspiring people not only in property world, but in general in business, which is just amazing because you understand that. Yeah,
I think it's so important, the mindset aspect, and we were kind of very niche in property and property alone. And given the skill set, certainly amongst Andy and Rich, with what they've achieved in their lifetime, it seemed a bit of a shame to just be property focused. So we've kind of launched Peak Performance by Blue Oak now. We're currently running a 4-week program where we're doing 2 webinars a day for the first week. Amy's getting involved, who's Rich's partner, with all of the health and nutrition side of it and stuff. So, and then them skills and the health, etc., building a better you can then be taken to any platform, property or whatever business you choose, and hopefully you'll perform at a much higher level. So
amazing.
I'd say I'm more excited for the Peak Performance by Blue Oak than I was Blue Oak Property. Although I like property and stuff, I feel really passionate about this side of it, having been through it myself so recently, and seeing what transition can be made if you do stick in and you start taking the right steps day by day.
Yeah, that's amazing. I joined the 4-week performance as well, I know it's only started, but to me, I decided that for me, it's not going to be only 4 weeks. This is forever. This is a change forever. And what I genuinely appreciate is that you guys created this. You are guys there to help, to inspire every single day, a few times a day. It will be silly not to, not to take this help, if that makes sense, because it's it's just sometimes it's harder to do it on your own, and then when you have that sort of help, it's just amazing. So I grabbed it with both hands, this opportunity, and I'm on it. I'm on it with you guys.
I really buy into the concept of a group or a mastermind or something where it's a community. I really think that helps you stay accountable and helps you push through mental barriers or other issues that may arise in a particular field. So if I have a problem with a property now, I know I have a handful of people that I can reach out to and they can help me. So yeah, man. And like it's understanding that you've got to become a better you in order to achieve the things you want to achieve. Absolutely. So like I was never going to achieve the things I wanted to achieve acting the way I was, being that person, but having spent a lot of money and a lot of time self-development stuff, I feel like I'm now becoming a person who can achieve more. And I think that has to come first. You
Absolutely.
have to improve yourself and your mindset and your health. Yeah.
Very much. And your routines and your discipline and habits, isn't it? So for those out there, the ones who are just starting out, and especially the ones who don't know you, if you can just like briefly explain what you did in order to change your old habits, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
So did you read any books or did you network? What happened? What did you do?
So for me, not that I was an alcoholic or anything, but I was going out drinking most weekends and it was taking me Thursday to recover. And by then you've lost most of the week and then you're back on the drink at the weekend. So the first thing I did was cut that out.
Because we're getting older, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting older, yeah. So cut the drink out was the first thing I did last year. And then after that, I started reading. So now I'm up to like a book a week now. But I didn't obviously start there. I started with just 10 pages a day. But now that's ramped up. I can't advise that enough because a book is like, £10? But it's all the life lessons from the particular author on a particular subject given to you on a plate. And I think looking back last year, how much I spent on courses and things, I was looking for a magic pill, but there isn't one. You've got to put in the work yourself. I was kind of looking back, I guess I was hoping somebody would do it for me, when in essence, you need to put the work in yourself. So again, that's something I realized last year, that to get to where you want to be, you need to do the required work. And if you choose something you're passionate about, then it doesn't feel like work. Like I never wake up on a Monday now dreading it. I used to wake up on a Monday dreading the week ahead because I was in a rubbish job or doing something I didn't really like. Whereas now I'm more gutted for a Friday evening when things come to a close than I am a Monday morning. So that really helps as well. So
amazing.
Anybody, yeah.
So you've been reading lots of different books. You said, do you have any books to recommend for the beginners out there for not property related, mindset related?
Yeah, so mindset related. There's a really good one called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck, which was a bit of a game changer. She talks about growth mindset against a fixed mindset.
Right.
And I've been guilty of a fixed mindset myself, where if you don't do something first time, you kind of berate yourself and put yourself down, etc. Whereas with a growth mindset, you accept that you are on a inverted commas journey and that you enjoy the process. And every time something comes along that you fear, you embrace that because you know it's your comfort zone expanding. So that was a really good book. I'm reading No Excuses by Brian Tracy at the moment as part of Blue Oak Book Club.
I'm reading this one as well. No, listening to me, I'm listening to it, yeah.
Really good, eh?
Amazing. I made so many notes already. I can't get enough.
Yeah, it's really good.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
So I definitely recommend that. That's all about the self-discipline aspect. And then the book we read last week, did you read The Compound Effect?
Compound Effect, yeah, finished it. Incredible book, yeah.
Again, I would recommend that one. So these two guys have been there and done it and in business, and I think Darren Hardy had £1 million a year coming in by the time he was 27, like in wages, so like a year younger than me.
Yeah,
but it's guys that have been there and done it, and that what they'd say works. It's not they're just preaching, they're practicing what they're preaching.
That's the thing. They're saying that if you want to become a leader, you have to follow what leaders do and not the followers. So yeah, if you want to achieve certain things, you need to look at the people who are up there already and just basically copy them what they did. Not necessarily copy them, word by word, obviously, but just pick up different things from everybody, from those, from those who made it, the ones who can inspire you. It's very, very important. Okay, so you started to educate yourself. You start reading books. So how did you manage to find your first business partner? I mean, when you said, okay, you found Rich. So again, for those out there who don't know Rich Little, he will be on the podcast episode one day soon as well. Absolutely incredible guy. So how did you found Rich? I mean, how did you guys get together?
Okay, so Rich. So we were both in Peterborough on separate courses, and he was teaching on one, I was attending one, and then we ended up on the same train home by accident. And we sat next to each other and we just got chatting. We chatted all the way home, and then I met him again down there and we had a bit more crack. And then I reached out with him because I was struggling with a project up here and I was struggling to get to grips with it. And he came up and he spent a day with me in Sunderland and talked through how to analyse a deal, etc., how to price a refurb using rule of thumbs. And it was like it was the most beneficial half day I'd ever had in my whole property education.
Wow.
So then after following that, we met again in Peterborough just by chance, and then we just got chatting. He was asking my plans for the future. It was coming up to his retirement in the RAF, and he was kind of looking for that next step, and it just was suggested that we go in it together and give it a go together, the whole property stuff, and obviously Expedition, which is our mastermind program, and now Blue Oak's branched out into the health and fitness and the peak performance, and we're looking to start children's nursery as soon as all of this is blown over. So,
oh wow!
I think that was the 1st of September when we decided that, and things have just exploded a little bit since then. I'm kind of just riding the wave and keep turning up.
And it's only April. It's only April. Look what you guys done. That's amazing. Okay, so again, because this podcast, it's for beginners, and obviously not everybody will know who you or Rich are. So now, just to give a little background, so you had no background with properties as such, but you had lots of education and lots of networking done. Now, Rich, he had already a property background. So just for the beginners out there, like what someone like Rich saw in you, and what did you see in him? Like why did you think that you guys can work well together? because that's
So I
important
think,
part of mindset thing, isn't it?
yeah, of course. So obviously you're touching on working together there. I think it's really important that you do make sure that you can work with the person. And I feel very lucky with Rich and Andy that we often say it's like your best mates in a WhatsApp group, the three of us. And Andy says that we every day we belly laugh, and we do, like it is just crack all the time, like good crack. So I had like 2 or 3 business inverted commas partners before Rich, and it just didn't kind of work out, but so maybe don't jump in too fast, too deep, too soon, kind of thing. Just spend a bit of time with that person. And like me and Richard spent 2 train journeys and half a day together before we decided. So it wasn't like we just jumped in straight away. Straight away, it seemed like we had similar values, similar aspirations.
Attitude towards life.
Yeah, attitude towards life. I think there was so many things that matched up that just seemed right. And then as Andy came into the mix, like that was an even quicker decision, So yeah.
Amazing. You 3 guys are absolutely incredible. I always say that. I love watching 3 of you. You just like, you all have same drive, same attitude towards life, you all want to help. You're all very like positive people, but you have different skills. And
Yeah, totally.
so it's just absolutely amazing to watch you. Yeah, hugely. You guys are like
Yeah.
perfect little trio.
Yeah. I feel very lucky, yeah. So I think that's important as well when you're looking for somebody in a JV that your skill set complement each other. It's no good both being really good at admin and both hating to do viewings, etc. So it's good to have a balance between everyone in the JV.
Absolutely.
Definitely, people starting out. I see. So I've got a friend up in Newcastle who's joint ventured with somebody, and he loves getting himself out there on social media, etc. And his business partner likes doing the back end admin stuff. So that works really well as a JV. And anybody who's just starting out, I'd suggest you look for somebody with kind of opposite skill set, maybe.
Same mindset.
Similar values and mindset, 100%, but like have complementing skill sets when it comes to the nitty gritty.
Fantastic. Yeah, it makes complete sense. 100%. So okay, so we covered the mindset, we covered how a bit of education and how you met now. So this is all fantastic, and just for the beginners out there, it just shows that just stay yourself, keep working on your skills, keep working on your mindset, but just stay yourself. And you just never know who you're going to meet and who's going to see something in you and who's going to want to partnership with you or something. It's just amazing. And I saw that what I seen that happen to you in front of my eyes, and it's just, you are an incredible example for that. And as I said, you, Rich and Andy, absolutely fantastic trio. So yeah, congratulations to you 3. Okay, so what is this what is sort of goal now for Paul?
For me, in terms of the Blue Oak stuff and the property, as Blue Oak in general, it's just, I don't know. So like, I guess like if we keep at the forefront of our mind that we want to treat people like people and do the right thing time after time, opportunities will present themselves. I think it's very easy to be head and shoulders above everyone else just by treating people like people and not like leads. So I think like our number one goal is never to forget that, and always to treat people with respect and do what's right by them. And then after that, kind of just take what happens, whatever comes across, and take it and see what we can do. So yeah, like it's hard. I've learned that it's hard to set tangible goals, like same property or what have you. So I want 10 HMOs by this point, because anything can happen. So what I like to do is set daily action goals. So I am going to live my life by this manner. I am going to read X amount of pages per day. When we allowed, I'm going to do X amount of viewings per day. And so like that's kind of our goal. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Monitor the daily actions. That is our goal, and make sure we are treating people right and high level of activity day to day. That is our goal.
Amazing.
And everything else will sort itself out.
Absolutely. Well, it will come naturally, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what sort of like, okay, so now you guys, you wanted to study in properties, but now you're also really into the mindset and all that. So what, did you enjoy your education, your property education? Because I know that you studied quite a lot. You spent loads of money on your education, didn't you? But we're also trying to say in this podcast is that you don't necessarily have to spend in the beginning on, like, let's say in the beginning, like lots of money on education, because there is a lot of free content out there. Things like, like getting a mentor and paying for courses, or, paying for mentorship, things like that. It's fine. It comes with a development, of course. Like myself personally, I will want to have a mentor for the rest of my life. 100%. But many people, they think they do need loads of money to start in properties. So what can you share something from your own experience?
Yeah, of course. So if you are going to go down the course and mentorship route, I would make sure you do lots of due diligence on that person first. Are they credible? Have they done what they've said they've done, etc.? Secondly, like you said, there's so much content out there. Like the stuff that's in the books, pretty much the stuff that's on the course. So just read the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in terms of just starting out, don't be scared of getting to your local networking events and start building this network of people who are ahead of you. Get those people around you. I've got so many of those people around me now that I'm very lucky to have. They've been there and done it a million times. So, and if I could pick up the phone to say 20 people and would be able to help me with any situation, whether that be business or property or mindset or whatever you. So so read the books. There's plenty of free content out there via YouTube or podcasts. I know Andy Thomas, my business partner, has got a really good YouTube with a lot of stuff on there. And
just for the beginners, his YouTube channel called 365 Investor, just for those who want to check it out.
And he's got so much free content on there of all of your property strategies, etc. And then also just get to the networking events as well. Did I say that already?
Yeah, but that's fine. But that's fine. Keep reminding beginners.
And if there isn't any in your area, start one.
That's a good point. Good advice. Like our friend Ruby, which I interviewed another day, not long ago. She also just she had someone who just asked if she wants to help him to start a networking event in the local area. She went for it. Really young girl, 22 years old, exactly. So if you don't have any around you, start one, as you said.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, so now, but also when we talk about networking, you are also known in our community as very good at social networking. So on social media, so networking and posting. This is a huge part of today's business, if that makes sense. I'm still working on mine, still not doing as well as I should. So can you maybe share some tips with people, or like how to get the right mindset to start posting, or the reason why you should be more online?
So like, I'm not going to say that people should be, but I'm going to say it makes your life easier if you are, because some people really hate it that much. And I hated Facebook, etc. before I started all of this. I didn't even have Facebook, but it became very apparent that if I wanted to raise money for property deals and things, I was going to have to put myself out there.
You didn't even have Facebook when
I didn't have Facebook. No, I hated it. So
wow.
When I came in, I was just all in, and so just be yourself on Facebook, like you said. Be yourself, and then you attract the right people. Whereas if you try to be somebody else, how long can you keep that facade up? So just be yourself, man, and then you will attract the right people that are right for you. Absolutely. But in terms of social media and posting, I think there's 3 really important things. So like, be consistent. I think Rob Moore says this is the one where most people will fall down. You'll see them post every day for a week, but then you won't hear from them for 3 months.
Guilty.
Guilty. So be consistent. I would say that's, like, again, come back to things I've done differently now as to any other time in my life, is the consistency factor. So just be consistent with your posting. It doesn't have to be every day, but say every 3 days or every week, but just be consistent so that people get to know, like, and trust you over an extended amount of time. The second one would be to just always try and add value. I'd like to think I don't really shout from the rooftops, like, look at me, look how good I am. I always think, is this adding value to people who are going to read this or watch this? And then third is just to interact with other people. So as they comment on your post, interact back. And I'm not saying I do this 100% of the time, but I should. And then interact on other people's posts as well and offer them encouragement or offer them support. Whatever you can do to help. Just, it's like real life, isn't it? The more you help people in real life, the more people are going to help you when you need it.
So it's the swings and roundabouts.
Absolutely. So just do the same online, in my opinion.
Amazing.
Simple.
The reason why I was like a bit shocked, like that you haven't had a Facebook before you started. This is again just for the beginners out there. If you think, because I know how active you were the whole last year, really, doing your lives and everything like that. So that's why I was surprised that you even haven't had a Facebook before, because people have, like me, have Facebook for a long time. But if I have to press a live button, I freeze and I can't do it, which is really strange, and which is really strange, and because I'm not a very shy person, but for some reason pressing a live button on Facebook, it scares me. Now obviously that's just up there, but something I'm working on. However, you didn't even have a Facebook before, and it's only been over a year or something you're really playing this game now properly, and that's just amazing. That's well done. Well done.
but honestly though, like for so long I had like a breakdown every time I pressed the live button. I would have like 15 minutes where I was like, I can't believe I'm going to do this kind of thing. I think my first video took 23 takes before I finally put that out there. But then all I would say to people is just practice video on yourself without stopping it. Just do 10 practice videos without stopping it and then go live. And don't think about it. And don't push it back either.
Just do it.
I would definitely recommend people to implement that in their posting on social media. I think Laura Muse put a post out stating that in terms of marketing, video marketing is very powerful. 20% of people believe what they hear, 30% of people believe what they see, but 70% of people believe what they see and hear. So just the power of video marketing is so strong. And if you want people to know, like, and trust you, what better way than by doing videos so that they feel like they do know and trust, you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
I met a lot of people last year who said they felt like they knew me after watching the videos, even though we'd never met. So if you can do that from the comfort of your own home in front of some Facebook groups that have got 26,000 people in, is that not worth doing?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Well, it depends on what you want to achieve. Now, some people, they want to just join, like the property Facebook pages, for example, just to learn or just to interact, or not everybody wants to do lives or make videos, but that's why can we tell a little bit to the beginners why this is beneficial. So one of the examples of benefits putting yourself out there is that it's this possibility that you can find a investor, for example. So if you are looking to do, for example, serviced accommodation, I'll just say that because that's something I'm involved in, serviced accommodation, and you want to do a rent to serviced accommodation, for example, and you're only short a few £1,000s to set up the property. If you put yourself more out there and you let people know that that's what you do, then the investors eventually will start popping up and just saying, hello, can I have a piece of your cake? Whatever you do. So can you give us some example? What do you think, in your opinion, of what is the benefits of being online?
So if you put yourself in an investor's shoes who's very cash rich and time poor, and they see somebody who's posting all the time and they seem mega keen and motivated, and then that investor suddenly thinks this person can really do something with my money, then they're going to approach you to invest their money with you, whether that be a 50-50 or just on a loan basis. So for me, if you're posting all the time, you're doing the videos and you're showing that you're putting the work in, like you're appealing to these people who are sitting there working 80 hours a week who just physically do not have the time to invest in property. So definitely.
It's a great point. So that's something what we read a lot in those books we're reading, how important it is to realize that you got different types of people, and you got someone, as you said, it's time poor, but they're cash rich. And then someone like us who's just starting out, you have loads of time, but you have no cash. So combining these two people, if you have the same goal or you understand what the investor wants, so it's sometimes it's the return, sometimes capital growth, sometimes it's the monthly cash flow. There's so many different, every investor looking for something else, and as long as you understand each other, and as long as you have a similar values and the same mindset and things like that, and you can work well together, that's just amazing. And the only way to find those, that's one way of finding those people is via online, because you can reach so many more people by being online than just in a room.
I would say be very conscious that you are coupling that with going to the networking events, so people feel like they know you because they've seen you online, but then once that's reinforced by meeting you face to face in a networking event, I feel like you're just head and shoulders above the other people who haven't posted online.
It's very true.
People want to come and talk to you because they've seen you on Facebook, etc.
Absolutely.
So all that posting online, I've done it from the comfort of my own home. It's cost me nothing, because Facebook's obviously free, or whatever, LinkedIn's free. It's cost me nothing other than my time, and I'm building this presence online. And then, like I say, when you couple that with meeting people in person, they feel like they know you, man, and just put your head in the like I say, I can't recommend it enough. And I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying it's a big advantage if you do.
Absolutely. Well, what happened to me recently was I was contacted by an investor from London who basically, he said to me that I just love watching your journey and I love your Facebook profile. And that's from my personal Facebook. That's not even from as a property groups. From personal Facebook, he said, absolutely love your lifestyle, love your attitude, etc., etc. He asked if we can jump on a call. We jumped on a call. We had over an hour conversation. It was one of those that if we could talk longer, we would. Clicked straight away, organized a meeting. He said that he's going to come to Devon. We want to go for a property net, the event together, which is the local one here. Show him a little bit around, show him possible essays I want to take on. He wants to invest into my essays. And then the corona happened, so we had to cancel it. So we went on we just chatted on the Zoom another night, and we have a glass of wine. So, and that's just an investor we have found via Facebook. We already clicked so much that we had a meeting with a glass of wine. Why not? This stuff works, and it's coming from me who's still not that good at it. So just imagine, this is for the beginners out there, just imagine what can happen to you if you really, really, really are using these free tools wisely.
And just don't expect for it to happen overnight. So what have we been posting for a year now? And I would say it took me 7 months until I started getting traction. So 7 months, don't look at the engagement or the comments and the amount of, just 7 months focus of posting good, valuable content, and then let the traction grow. Be patient and consistent.
It's huge, isn't it? Being patient, because again, many people they decide that they're going to go for properties or something else as well. But properties it's a particular a longer process, isn't it? With properties, basically, it's definitely not an overnight thing. Sometimes people realize in themselves if they are ready for it as well, because so many people, they quit really quickly because they realize that that's not happening fast enough and they quit. But it's actually, if you stick with it and if you truly love it, it's going to be worth it. So, but you have to be patient. That's just one thing people have to understand. It takes longer than you maybe would expect, but also shorter than you would think, if that makes sense. It seems weird, but it's...
So it's like that. That's like saying, so people overestimate what they can achieve in a year, but underestimate what they can achieve in a lifetime. And it's something I've fallen foul of so many times before, where I've wanted it to happen overnight and it hasn't. So I've just quit and I've gone down another avenue expecting that to happen overnight. Whereas, like I keep saying, this is the first time in my life I've stuck at something, shown it patience, being consistent, and now a year and a bit down the line, I'm starting to see big rewards,
Amazing. Yeah, you did really well.
Yeah, for you. So neither of us have quit on this, and we've been consistent. We've turned up every day, and now we're both starting to make headway. So Yeah,
We'll never
happy
quit.
days.
We'll never, ever, ever quit, will we?
Rich and Andy won't let us.
No, no. Got these mindset gurus behind, no?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's just,
Yeah,
yeah, it's fantastic. The support with every single aspect. So
yeah,
everything you really need from being successful, you guys covering, including the
yeah.
fitness. I love that. I just love you guys.
We love you too.
Aw. The love, the love is mutual.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Oh, I wish I could turn my fingers into blue, but you get
Well,
that.
should I do the tree emoji as well,
Yeah.
like
You do your tree, and I'll do little
like
heart.
that. There you go.
Little blue oak.
Love it.
Amazing.
Branding.
Right. So, guys, now you have an exciting year ahead of you. Lots of plans, lots of projects. So, what is like the biggest challenge at the moment?
The biggest challenge is probably the organisation side of things, so we don't miss anything, coupled with making sure we're being productive. So it's very easy to become a busy fool. So I've started implementing this thing now where I choose 3 jobs which are the most important to Blue Oak. So get in touch with the accountant or go and buy the stuff for the tradesmen to move projects on, rather than just sitting messaging people on Facebook. Because although it's people through Blue Oak, you feel like you're doing work, but it's not things that are going to push you on. So I'm very conscious now that we continue to do things that push us on and not get distracted by things that don't really matter. Like daft little bits of admin are sitting here, and I'd rather do them over what you call the income generating tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that's a challenge. If you want to continue to grow, make sure you keep doing the right things. And the communication's key as well. So we obviously have a WhatsApp group between us, but soon I'll move back to Newcastle. Rich will be in York and Andy will be in Leeds. So communication's really important. I think Andy said that Grant Cardone's sales team talk every single day, if not by the hour. So
Wow.
Communication will be a big challenge as well. Make sure we stick on that and get the team meeting in every week or twice a week or what have you. So yeah,
it's hugely important. Yeah, hugely important. There's so much can go wrong in a business simply because people don't communicate, and not only with business. This is in general in any relationship, in anything really in life, isn't it? If you don't communicate,
yeah.
You get misunderstandings. You get it's just important, very important.
A lot of things can be just nipped in the bud by a simple phone call. So yeah, definitely keep on top of the communication, keep ourselves organised, make sure the productivity levels are right and they're there. Keep pushing things forward really, and don't rest on our laurels. So I feel like a couple of months ago we made the mistake of just resting on our laurels, and we all admitted that. So we've made a conscious effort to like keep putting the content out there, and Andy's made a massive effort with his Facebook lead gen stuff, and he's educating himself in that so we get more leads for the property deals. So I'd feel like don't rest on our laurels is a big challenge, because I think Rich says it, don't believe in your own hype,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big challenge for everyone, I think.
That's it, yeah. But you'll get it, guys. You got yeah, no problem for you, Free. Paul, sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all. Yeah, you seems to. Yeah, you just kind of like you just very naturally click together. No, it's just so natural. It's like such a nice organic relationship between the 3 of you, isn't it? Yeah. Like you can genuinely feel it from you. You can see it. So yeah.
Oh, I feel like with the 3 boys at school who never did the homework, like those lads who were always getting in trouble.
Oh yeah.
The homework. I feel like we've now come together in another life.
Well, we were laughing last time, between you, me, and Andy about the book club. How it's like if our teachers would know that we are ever in a book club. Sorry for the listeners out there. You guys created a Blue Oak book club as well, which is a new program as well. So, which is a second book now is being on.
Yeah. So we were laughing at the fact that we were now spending our Friday evenings as part of Blue Oak Book Club, which is just unheard of, man. So yeah, we're in the second week of that now, and trying to again, just
if our old teachers would know that we are in a book club, they'll be like, surely not this grade. No. You're mistaking them with someone.
I couldn't get us to read any books at school, not even Where's Wally. So the fact that I'm reading Brian Tracy literature now, you know.
So you never found Wally, yeah? Poor Wally. Oh, have you seen that little joke about where is Wally during the coronavirus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his own.
Yeah, it's not nobody, just him, and saying, "Try to hide now."
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so probably that one you would find, would you? You would find him on that one. You would have a.
I would like to think so. I'm struggling if I'm not finding that one.
Amazing. Okay, so and do you have any like a favorite documentaries or anything to watch, if that makes sense? If someone wants to, if someone doesn't want to read, or you know they just want something on the TV or on Netflix, do you have any favorite documentary or movie?
So I really enjoyed the Donald Trump one. I think it was a 4-part series.
Yes. Oh, I loved it. I watched it like 5 times.
I thought it was really good, and like whether you like him or you don't like him, for what he's done in his businesses and things, it's in terms of the marketing side as well, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, for those who hasn't seen it yet, it's basically Donald Trump, as you said. Now that you know, love him or hate him, he, as from a business point of view, he created pretty much everything he has with the strategy No Money Down. He basically never used any of his money, or not for a long time, and while he was becoming very, very wealthy. So yeah, it's definitely worth watching to watch how someone like that thinks.
and one I really like, and it won't appeal to everybody, is Notorious. It's like the documentary about Conor McGregor, and it follows him from going on the dole in Ireland, not being able to pay, say, a council tax bill, right up to fighting. Was it Pacquiao for and he got $80 million or something for the fight.
Wow.
And just in terms of putting the work in, so there's a bit clip where he's on a Saturday morning, he's in the gym training, and he's saying, all my mates will be hungover from last night and I'm here training, and that's the difference. That's why I'm going to make it. So in terms of what it takes to get to the top, I think that's a really good one.
Nice. What's the name again of that one?
Notorious.
Notorious.
So if you just search for Conor McGregor.
Nice.
But we watched Tony Robbins. I don't know if you've heard of Tony Robbins, but he's got so he's got I Am Not Your Guru. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, seen this one. I got a book as well. Yeah.
So Rich really recommended that one on Netflix the other night as well, and that was really good. So
he's Tony Robbins. He used to be when he was like 17 or something. He used to sit on the Jim Rohn's seminars and learn from Jim Rohn. And look at it now, so Jim Rohn is another one, another legend, which even someone like Tony Robbins used to learn from. So I would recommend as well. Have you listened to Jim Rohn's the library he's got on Audible?
I haven't, no, but
I think it's called like Ultimate Library or something like that, because it's not a book. It's just basically a parts of his seminars put together, and it's a ridiculous amount of hours, like 50 hours or something. A lot. It's really long, but it's amazing. It's definitely.
I'll have to give it a look. I'll look into it.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Happy days.
Okay. So we covered the mindset. We covered like how the part of your journey, that how you got into property and what sort of plans you guys have like now. So we already covered some tips what you would have for the listeners, but what would you think will be like the top 3 tips from Paul for the property beginners? Now, it could be mindset related, but for the property beginners, top 3. What would
3. First one's got to be the patience. You've got to be patient. You've got to kind of have in your head that you're going to get there no matter what, and be patient and ride the obstacles and the hurdles that will be put in front of you, which they inevitably will, and be very focused on that end goal. And it might take 6 to 10 years, but you're just going to have to stick with it, turn up every day. That'll be the first one. Second one, believe in yourself, because I don't think anyone else is going to do it for you. Believe in yourself. Don't listen to the naysayers. Surround yourself with people who do well for you and are good for you and encourage you. And then the third one, always be working on improving yourself. Yeah.
Nice. Wonderful. Wonderful. And just never, never, ever give up on your goals.
Never.
If you truly love them. If you truly love them.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then find something else, because everybody, I truly believe that everybody has something they would love. Maybe they just haven't found it yet. But if you don't try things, and if you don't stick with them long enough, sometimes you wouldn't know if that is the true passion, true love. So yeah, it's very, very important to find actually not what you love, and then just stick with it. Just don't give up.
I read somewhere that it posed this question, and the question was, if money wasn't an object and you couldn't feel anything, what would you do every day of your life? Monetize that. Make money from doing that, because then you'll never work another day in your life.
It's very true. It's very interesting question. And again, for those, the new ones out there, it is a really, really, really good point. Is that, as you said, if the money would not be an object, what would you do when you wake up tomorrow? What would you do? What will make you happy? And and just try to find. Obviously, lots of people, because I asked this question to some of my friends, and the answer was like, "Oh, I just want to watch TV and just put my feet up." It's like okay,
which is fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's good that everyone's different, otherwise the world would be a very boring place. But
absolutely,
you've got to be true to yourself, and if you want more than that, then you need to go and get it and put the work to achieve it. Yeah. But
I just wanted to add, because obviously I 100% agree with you. It's like, if we all going to be entrepreneurs and have businesses, who's going to do the work, for example? We of course we have to be different. Everybody have to be different, and we all that's the balance in life, in the world, in economy. That's what we have. That's just fantastic. I was making jokes about a friend who wants to be an entrepreneur, but he actually said that he would want to just put a feet up and play PlayStation game. And I was like, there you go, become a PlayStation player professional. People make money out of it. Just if that is your passion, and if that would truly make you happy, that you could just sit and play the PlayStation, then YouTube it, and you find out how you can actually make money from that. So there's always way that even if you're looking for the lazy ways of something, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be a bad thing. Just find a way how to make money out of it. Like Gary Vee is another one really good, which we follow. He said as well, one example was that you like watching Friends. Like, so many people, they know Friends, like me, word by word, every single episode. And he said that if you love watching Friends so much, if you know them so much, start a podcast, for example, on Friends, and just talk to your friends about Friends, for example. And he said you can always turn anything into any passion, any love in your life, you can turn into something bigger. So absolutely. Definitely. Amazing. Right. So I think we covered pretty much everything. Is there anything you think you didn't share with the listeners?
Just get yourself in the Blue Oak community, whether that's Peak Performance by Blue Oak or the Blue Oak Property Network, and then all will be well in the world.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna put the details, obviously, so that's gonna go on YouTube as well. So I'm gonna put the details for the Blue Oak, of course, for the listeners. This is just honestly the best Facebook group in the world. And definitely, it's just, as we said in the beginning, just full of inspiration, full of it's just advice, it's honest, it's ethical, it's just fantastic. So definitely, people jump on.
Love it.
Come and have a look, knock on the door, we'll let you in. The tree is big enough to cover everybody, lots of Oakenites.
I like that analogy. It is. Get into it.
The tree is growing.
You
can handle a lot. Right, amazing. Well, Paul, I'm just gonna wrap it up here then. So thank you so much for joining us on the show today. I'm sure that everybody will find a lot of value in this. You were very, very, very helpful. You are very inspirational. You have amazing attitude towards life and towards your passion, and you are a good friend as well, and to everybody. So I'm sure that everybody will find this really useful. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, and keep up the good work, Lenka. I love to see it.
Will do.
Let's speak soon.
So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.
Bye.